She told her friends at brunch that I was just her backup plan. Too bad her friend recorded everything and sent it to me. By the end of the week, she'd lost me, her apartment, and her entire friend group. It all started on a Sunday morning. I, 29M, was at home fixing the brakes on my old pickup when I got a text from my buddy Alex. It was a voice message. Alex doesn't usually send me voice messages, so I pressed play. And right there, clear as gay, I heard my girlfriend, Melissa, 27, laughing with her friends at some trendy cafe. "Honestly, Jason's fine for now," she said. "He's stable, he pays rent on time, but let's be real, he's my backup plan. If nothing better comes along by 30, I'll just marry him. But I'm definitely still keeping my options open." The table erupted in laughter. Someone clinked a mimosa glass, and then Melissa added the line that stuck like a knife. "He's basically like a safety net. Sweet, boring, predictable Jason." Before I continue, I want you to subscribe to this channel. We're going to 1,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it. Now, back to the story. Sweet, boring, predictable. I stood in my garage, staring at my phone while brake fluid dripped onto the concrete. My hands were shaking. Melissa wasn't just talking trash. She was laying out her whole strategy in front of her friends, treating me like a placeholder boyfriend until Prince Charming came along. The only reason I even heard it? Alex's girlfriend was at that same brunch. She'd recognized Melissa, thought the comments were disgusting, and secretly hit record on her phone. By the time I finished listening, my blood was boiling. But I didn't call Melissa, not yet. Instead, I decided to test just how boring and predictable I really was. First, I replayed the message, twice, to make sure I wasn't mishearing. No, it was crystal clear. Then I started gathering receipts, because if Melissa thought she could treat me like a plan B, she was about to learn I don't play second string. Monday morning, she waltzed into my apartment after her yoga class like nothing happened. "Babe, do you mind if I use your card for groceries? Mine's kind of maxed out right now." I looked at her like I was staring at a stranger, but I just said, "Sure," and handed her the card. She smiled, kissed me on the cheek, and left. What she didn't know was that I'd opened a separate bank account the night before. I transferred out most of my savings, canceled her card access, and scheduled a meeting with my landlord. Because here's the thing, the apartment she bragged to her friends about, the one she claimed was basically hers since she decorated it, the lease was in my name only. On Tuesday, Melissa posted a boomerang on Instagram. Her clinking glasses with her friends again, captioned, "Manifesting a glow-up, can't settle for less." Les? The same Les who'd covered her half of the utilities for the last 8 months. The same Les who bought her a new phone when she shattered it on a drunk night out. Yeah, okay. That night, I forwarded the recording to her dad. See, Melissa's father, Tom, and I actually got along. He respected me for holding down steady work as a contractor, and he'd once thanked me for keeping Melissa grounded. He was also the one who'd co-signed her car loan. "Thought you should hear what your daughter thinks about me. I'm ending things, but figured you should know the kind of game she's playing while you're helping her out financially." He replied in less than 5 minutes. "Wow, this is disappointing. Thank you for telling me." By Wednesday, the dominoes started falling. Melissa came home furious. "Why is my dad blowing up my phone? What did you do?" "Me? I didn't do anything. Maybe you just found out how you really feel about me." Her face went pale. She realized instantly what had happened. "That recording wasn't supposed to get out. It was just girl talk. Everyone vents. You're totally overreacting." Venting is saying your boyfriend forgot to take out the trash, not calling him a backup plan in front of half the city. She stormed into the bedroom, slamming doors, texting furiously. By midnight, I heard her crying on the phone to her best friend, Emma. "Jason's being so controlling. My dad's cutting me off. I might actually have to get a job." I almost laughed out loud. The horror. Thursday was when things escalated. Melissa's friend Emma, the same one she'd called for sympathy, showed up at our place. She barged in while I was making coffee, arms crossed like she was about to stage an intervention. You need to forgive her, Emma said. She didn't mean it like that. She gets nervous about commitment. She called me boring and said I was a safety net. That doesn't sound like nerves. That sounds like a strategy. Emma rolled her eyes. Look, all girls say stuff like that when they're just joking around. If you really loved her, you'd fight for her. Fight for someone who admitted she's keeping her options open? Hard pass. Melissa appeared then, puffy-eyed from crying. She launched straight into theatrics. Jason, it was a test. I wanted to see if you'd fight for me, prove you actually cared, and instead you betrayed me to my dad. A test, I said. What grade did I get? Because I'm giving you an F in honesty. Emma muttered something under her breath and stormed out, clearly annoyed that her pep talk hadn't worked. Melissa retreated to the bedroom again, slamming the door. By Friday, things went nuclear. Melissa's friends started messaging me directly. One of them, Jordan, sent a paragraph-long DM accusing me of ruining Melissa's life over one mistake. Another claimed I'd gaslighted her by making her believe I was serious about the relationship. The irony was painful. I didn't gaslight anyone. I just pulled back the curtain. But then came the twist. The same girl who had secretly recorded Melissa at brunch, she texted me again. Hey, you should know, Melissa's been trashing you nonstop in the group chat, saying you're bitter, that you'll come crawling back, and that she's already lining up new dates to make you jealous. I thought you'd want the screenshots. Attached were pages of Melissa's messages, boasting about how she'd spin the story to make me look like the villain. She'd even drafted a whole Instagram caption about leaving toxic relationships behind. I didn't reply to the message. I just saved every screenshot. Saturday morning, Melissa tried one last tactic. She woke me up by shaking my shoulder. Her eyes were red from crying, but her voice was calm, almost rehearsed. I know I messed up, but think about everything we've built together. Don't you see? You're the one I need, not just a backup plan. I sat up, looked her straight in the eyes, and said, Melissa, the only thing we've built is a fake future where I'm the backup while you shop for something better. I'm done. She gasped like I'd slapped her. You'll regret this. Nobody else will put up with you. I smiled. Good. I'd rather be alone than someone's safety net. That afternoon, while she was out running errands, I boxed up her things. 2 suitcases, a pile of clothes, and a vanity drawer full of makeup. Everything else in the apartment was mine. I texted her, your stuff is in the living room. Please pick it up by tonight. By evening, she showed up with Emma again. Melissa burst into tears the moment she saw the bags. You're seriously throwing me out over a recording? Jason, you can't do this. Where am I supposed to go? Maybe one of your brunch friends has a couch. Emma scowled at me. This is cruel. She's your girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, I corrected. And if she can't handle the consequences of her own words, that's not my problem. Melissa wailed louder, begging, pleading, calling me heartless. But eventually she left, dragging her suitcases down the hall, still crying into her phone. I thought it was over, but I was wrong. Because Sunday morning, I woke up to 50 unread notifications. Melissa hadn't just accepted the breakup, she'd gone full nuclear, painting me as the villain all over social media. And the way she tried to do it, that's where things got messy. By Sunday morning, Melissa had transformed into the victim of her own story. She plastered Instagram with dramatic quotes about toxic men who manipulate women into silence. One post read, sometimes the ones who claim to love you are the ones holding you back. Never settle for someone who's threatened by your glow-up. She attached a photo of herself posing with a latte, clearly taken that morning, pretending everything was fine. But the best part? Half the comments were from her own brunch friends asking, wait, weren't you the one calling him your backup plan? Apparently, the recording had made the rounds. Word spreads fast in friend groups, especially when mimosas are involved. I didn't even need to defend myself. Her friends did it for me. By Monday, Melissa's group chat was in flames. The same people who cheered her on at brunch were suddenly distancing themselves. One message screenshot landed in my inbox from that same anonymous source. Girl, this is embarrassing. You literally called him your plan B. Don't try to flip it. Own your mistakes. Another read, we can't be part of this drama. You made him look like an idiot and now you're lying about it? Not cool. Melissa replied with a wall of texts blaming me, her dad, the toxic patriarchy, and even the brunch restaurant for serving too many mimosas. Her friends weren't buying it. By Tuesday, she was quietly removed from the group chat. Losing her friends was strike one. Strike two came when her dad followed through on his promise. He froze her credit card and told her she was responsible for her car payments from now on. She called me sobbing, claiming I'd ruined her life. I didn't answer. Instead, I got another text from Tom, her dad. You dodged a bullet. Thanks again for being honest. Don't worry, I won't let her spin this into your fault. Meanwhile, Melissa was still trying to control the narrative. She messaged me directly. You don't understand. I didn't mean you were my backup plan in a bad way. I meant like you're the reliable one, the safe one, my foundation. I didn't respond because let's be real. Nobody wants to be called the foundation while someone else shops for penthouses. By Wednesday, Melissa tried damage control with a new tactic. She staged a girls' night photo dump on Instagram with the caption, "Surround yourself with queens who lift you up." Except the queens in the photos, none of them were her original brunch crew. She'd roped in two acquaintances who looked deeply uncomfortable in every picture. One of the comments summed it up perfectly. New friends every week? Maybe the common denominator is you. Strike three. Thursday was when she officially hit rock bottom. She showed up at my apartment unannounced. I opened the door to find her standing there with a suitcase and mascara running down her face. I have nowhere to go, she said. Emma won't answer my calls. Jordan blocked me. Even my cousin said I bring too much drama. Please, Jason, just let me crash here for a while. No, I said simply. Her voice cracked. I'll change. I'll cook. I'll clean. I'll even pay rent. You've had plenty of chances. This isn't about cooking or cleaning. It's about respect. And you lost mine the moment you turned me into a punchline. She stared at me like she couldn't process the words. Then she dropped to the floor, sobbing, begging, clutching at my leg like a scene out of a bad soap opera. I gently stepped back, grabbed her suitcase, and rolled it into the hallway. Melissa, this is the last time we're having this conversation. Goodbye. I closed the door and didn't open it again. By Friday, she'd truly outdone herself. Desperate for sympathy, Melissa posted a long rant on Facebook accusing me of being emotionally abusive and isolating her from her support system. She even included a blurry photo of me carrying her suitcase out of the apartment, claiming it was evidence of my cruelty. But here's the kicker. She also attached screenshots of the brunch recording to prove context. Except the context proved the opposite. Everyone could hear her loud and clear calling me her backup plan. The comments were brutal. So he's abusive because he didn't like being your safety net? Girl, you played yourself. Imagine posting your own betrayal as evidence. Wild. By Saturday, Melissa had officially lost the war. Her reputation tanked, her friends abandoned her dad cut her off, and I was moving on with my life. But the universe had one last plot twist. A week later, I ran into Emma, the former best friend, at a local coffee shop. She walked up to me, looking awkward. Hey, she said, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for defending Melissa. I didn't realize how bad it was until I saw the receipts. She's been trashing all of us for months. Nobody talks to her anymore. I nodded. Don't worry about it. I'm just glad it's over. Emma smiled sheepishly. Well, it's not totally over. She's been couch popping, and last I heard she's staying with her mom, but even her mom says she's impossible to live with. I thanked Emma and went about my day, but inside I felt a strange mix of relief and closure. Melissa had dug her own grave. All I did was shine a light on it. Fast forward to today. It's been 2 months since the breakup. I've reconnected with old friends I'd neglected during the relationship. I even started seeing someone new, a woman who doesn't treat me like a plan B, but like an actual partner. Melissa? Last I checked, she's still hopping between couches, working part-time at a boutique she hates, and posting vague quotes about rebirth and cutting toxic people. And me? I've never felt freer. To anyone wondering if I regret it, absolutely not. When someone shows you they see you as a backup plan, believe them. Don't wait around to become their safety net. Because the truth is, you deserve to be someone's first choice. Melissa thought I was boring, predictable, and safe. She was right about one thing. I am safe. Safe from her lies, her drama, and her endless games. And honestly, that's the best kind of safe there is.